Alright, I'm going to show you how to articulate a cave doll neck peg. I'm going to do the best I can. This is on my phone, and I'm not any kind of really great YouTuber, but as you can see, I took it off, and now this doll, this cave doll, will have neck movement. I actually already tested this. This is my second one. I'm making dolls for my nieces. Now, what I would suggest is probably painting the skin tone after getting this, all put on. That's where I messed up because I'm impatient and things will happen. I do have a hole right here, as you can see. If you're a perfectionist, you can fix it up. I'll fix it up. I'll figure out something, but maybe do yourself a favor and, this does happen. It happened, and there was a mess up on the other one too, but that's the risk you're willing to, if you're willing to take it. This is the finished one. Like I said, I didn't paint right there, as you could see, but I'm going to move her neck. She can now move her neck which way she wants, up, down, side, and what they're used to, which is left and right. But now it could be any angle. This is a bluey doll I'm making for one of my nieces. So, as you can see, it can be done. This is the piece that was originally on the doll. That was, again, excuse me, I'm just trying to do a quick video to anybody who is curious. This is what was on there originally. This was the neck peg. It could only move their heads side to side. That was it. How I did this is you will need these tools. This is Epoxy Sculpt A and B. I got these barbells right here on Amazon. Believe it or not, these are very important. Some came with diamond heads. Obviously, I didn't use that. I used the one that has ball and ball. And then another very important thing that I use quite a lot is super glue. And when doing these barbells, I would suggest taking one ball off at a time, putting a dab of super glue in so that it stays, because it will untwist. So you want to get each side one at a time, putting a glue a teeny bit on the, once you take the ball off on the head there, and then twist it on, hold it there for a second, then go on to the other side of the ball and super glue, repeat. Another thing I use is cosplay, also found onto Amazon. So actually all these are on Amazon. Amazon, Epoxy Sculpt, A and B, cosplay, Amazon, these barbells, Amazon, super glue, you'll need a lighter, and this, which is an X-Acto knife. This is rough looking. I use it quite a lot, and I burned it, and you will need to burn it for the process of cutting off the neck peg. And I wish I could tell you what this is, but like I said, I'm just throwing this out there just so you get kind of an idea. If you're really wanting to do this, it can be done, kind of a thing. Ryobi, and it's got this let me see, sharp head thing right here. That's what's going to drill in, and you're going to go as far down, see the end of the neck there, as far down as you can, kind of go lightly around the walls, because you're going to fit that ball in there, okay? But first things first, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this. I wish I was better at making this, but again, I haven't seen anything on this, so I just want to throw it out there. This was a neck peg that was on there. You heat this up with a lighter. I count to 60 seconds, and then what you do is you go right on that bubble, right at the end there. You can see it, is where I heat it. You can see it's black. I heated this up, and I cut right at the ball right here of the neck. Just cut it straight down. Take your time. Keep reheating it if you have to, just to cut it clean off. Once you cut this clean off is when, I wish I could have done this, in real life, but I'm not good at video, so I'm just doing it this way. You take it or you leave it, whatever you want. You drill in all the way as far down as you can. Obviously, like I said, I made a mistake here and I made a mistake on the other one, but, don't be like me. Be patient. and drill in, go around, because you want that ball to fit in. And you want it to go, you know, down to right there about, and then you're going to have that, you know, bar part. I'm trying to see, bar part right there is going to be the peg part. And then you see this little gem here is going to be the top of the neck peg that's going to sit in the head, so the bottom of the head part can go around the peg part. You can't see it here because you want to measure too. Like I measured from the original, and that's why I kept this, which I'm glad because now I can show you guys. I kept this to reference how far do I want that peg sticking out before it meets the bump, or like right here where the neck needs to sit on, right? So that's why I measured it, and that's when I started the clay part right there, because that's where that one started for the head to sit correctly, right? This right here was the cloth clay I put on it, and you want to keep getting the head of the doll and referencing to see if the hole is just a you want this part, this peg part, to be a teeny bit bigger, not a lot bigger, I mean close, almost on the dot, and I did mine in a cone shape, so that once I heat up the head, I'm able to stick it in somewhat pretty effortlessly. Unfortunately, if it doesn't, luckily you could shave it off with this. You might risk breaking that though, because this is a rubberized clay. There is a chance of it breaking, although pretty good for the most part. I love this stuff. I use it on a lot of my projects. If worse comes to worse, this is what I had to do with this girl, because again, you're gonna have trial and error. So luckily, this is just gonna be a display, so you're not really gonna be looking at that unless you're trying to. But I had to cut it open. I put a little yarn in between here, because if you put super glue and this is acrylic yarn together, it kind of creates a concrete. So now I know for sure this is not going to be split open, because now it's a concrete seal between all of it together. But this is what I cut open to fit the peg into the neck. I was having a hard time. Originally I actually popped her head off on accident, and obviously that was stressful, but I figured, you know what, I'll just have to do this just to give myself, if you want to do it like somewhat easy, you could do this method if you're scared to break everything. If not, you could try putting it on. But like let me get back to this, sorry. So after, like I said, you drill, put it in, make your cast clay part. Well, now I tried heating up the plastic, because like I said, I heated up the knife and it was melting the plastic, so I thought maybe I can push the plastic together to keep the color and all that stuff. I haven't had luck with it, so I've had to use epoxy sculpt to create, if you can see the ball in there. That I didn't touch, like I said, I just put that in. That works so it can move around, right? So the ball is in there. But you need a lip so it doesn't pop out again. That's the thing. Once you drill the hole and put this in, it will be popping in and out. Unless you get the nicest snug, but even then, you want a lip so there's not a possibility of it coming out. So with the epoxy sculpt, even parts, part A, part B, they have to be even. Mix them together. And, I created the lip. I go down here to smooth it into the skin so that it's, unified, and then I created a lip, but you still want to have movement, so make sure you don't cover the hole completely, because then you didn't do anything. You want to just cover it just a little so the ball can't come out, but it still can move around. You have to wait 24 hours for this to dry, and that is pretty much how you do an articulated neck. Tips for your success over mine: you can be patient, go slow, take your time. For all this, like the little dent here, I will have to figure out a way to fix that. And the fact on her, she now has a miscolor neck. But, you live and you learn, and If I can help you have a more successful one, I would like to do that, so that is why I wanted to come and put this video on here. If anybody has any better ideas or tips or tricks to make my semi-succession even more successful, please leave any comments for anybody down there who is wanting to work on a cave doll articulated neck, because that's all they need. That's all they need. They're pretty much articulated everywhere. They're awesome. They're cute. Anywho, yeah, this one's Bluey, obviously. That one's Bingo. But that is all. Thank you, and hopefully that this is helpful for anyone wanting to do this.